Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next part of the DEI Cimmeria campaign. We're back once again trying to defend Antheia with our weakened garrison army. This is against the same army that we fought with before. It's a lot weaker now, but so are we. But I think I'm going to try and fight the battle out manually because I think I can do more damage than the auto-resolve would let me do normally. So I'm going to try and I'm going to fight it out. We're going to do our best to kill as many Romans as possible, which will then hopefully allow our armies to come in a lot sooner and recapture Antheia. And yeah, it just kind of ended up happening because we needed both armies to take Odessos from the enemy Romans. And since I didn't want to risk I didn't want to risk having one of my armies wiped out when I only have so many in the region. It definitely becomes a bit more of an interesting situation. So yeah, let's see. My general is going to be more in the back for now. So I think what we're going to do is we're basically just taking a similar defensive position. Our hoplites are here. Our citizen hoplites are there to defend. I'm gonna try seeing if I can use my my standard hoplites to see if I can use them to flank again if the AI chooses to go on the same typical route of going over here. The enemy archers are pretty healthy, which is a little unfortunate for us, but not surprising because they're able to run away a lot easier than some of the other units would have been able to. Yeah, these Italian mercenary swordsmen with the 2 chevrons. Our garrison, though, did apparently good enough that there's a couple of units with experience on them. It looks like the enemy's just going down this simple, straightforward path, so we should be able to handle that no problem. The general's going to go in and get himself killed again, as per usual, it seems. Which is really good for us, but I really don't... The AI really needs to work on not killing their own general, because it really does hurt them a lot. Yeah, look at that. The enemy general's just dead. Wiped out. I'm gonna start moving this guy up to try and get ready to reinforce. I don't know where exactly yet. Yeah, already half of them dead. Most of that dead was during the initial charge, but yeah, now that we're not really going to get too much done now. I'm gonna let them walk for a little bit. Nah, start running. Just get there as fast as possible at this point. Okay, once the enemy's all engaged, we'll be able to properly defeat the enemy. My general's taking some archer fire from the enemies. I guess they started retargeting him. The enemy general is dead. Our archers, though, are getting quite beat up by the enemy's archers counterfire. That's one reason why I'm trying to run over here, is to try and kill some of these guys. That looks like missile troops. These guys all have a bunch of javelins, but I don't really know what they're trying to do with it. Are they trying to miss the javelins that are coming over here to hit my general? Is that what's going on? We've at least run those guys off, but we're not going to be able to catch them, unfortunately. So our best thing we were able to do there was just to chase them away for a moment, reduce their impact on the overall battle. The enemy archer is probably going to get away, but if nothing else, I'll be able to at least get my hoplites to get in a nice flanking position here to attack the enemy. Nice flanking units with the hoplites. That might be causing some of these guys to break, potentially. Let's see, does it say it? My casualty sustained only so far, but... If we could check those guys in the back here, that'll be the most ideal thing we can get. Alright, perfect. We were actually able to catch that enemy's missile infantry and get them involved and get in a fight with them with my hoplites. My hoplites should win because they outnumber them and they're stronger units. So yeah, those guys not losing decisively good. And we have the archers firing into the enemy backs here. We're gonna start sending these hoplites up to try and counter the enemy's movements. Yeah, these guys have wiped out the enemy archers there, so I'm going to get these guys now into formation here and get them involved in a flanking maneuver on this flank. And that guy's about to break, losing decisively against my 2 hoplites with archers going right into his backside. I'm not surprised that he's having a bad time. These hoplites, though, are not going to be able to catch up to these guys, which has been unfortunate. But that's not really their purpose. Their job is entirely just to scare them off enough so that way they do not greatly affect the battle itself. After all, the farther they're away from the battle itself, the less likely they can actually do some real harm. Alright, so the archer's running out of ammo. All the archers are out of ammunition. I'm going to start running them around, and maybe they can get involved here against the enemy archers. That dude's about to shake, so hopefully we get about to break. So hopefully, with a nice unit of hoplites getting involved, that'll finish them off. Yeah, those guys just broke, which means now it's just these guys who are in the way. Yeah, that unit just both of those units just broke right there with that one small amount of pressure from that one hoplite unit. The power of losing your general. Yeah, work there. Okay, now the enemy has officially been surrounded now, so we're just gonna start getting involved here with our hoplites. Just get involved in that fight, broskies. I don't know what you're trying to do there. Oh, my general is ended up getting in the battle too. I didn't even notice that. Oops. And the remaining Romans have surrounded. That one's about to break due to army losses. And battle is over. We have successfully held Antheia from another Roman assault. It's very helpful that that hoplites are super strong from the front, and that the enemy chooses to just funnel in. Honestly, though, I think even if they didn't choose to funnel in, I think they would have lost. Because if they didn't, because my hoplites held up the other easy avenue, if they chose to try running around their cavalry, I would have been able to maneuver those hoplites to try and counter that general. So I do feel like the game just didn't properly, understand my power. Rome has been defeated. That army has been wiped out. Macedon might come in and it will very easily take Antheia. This garrison would not be able to hold against a Macedonian army. But it looks like Macedon's not too interested in getting Antheia. Well, actually, still Roman's turn. Actually, I thought it might have been Macedon's turn. Yeah, Antheia's lost. I'm not even going to try holding Antheia against this army, because this army will just casually crush this garrison, like, no questions asked. But the garrison did good. It wiped out a full Roman army before being captured. Proud of you, Antheia. Your men are worthy Greeks. We will recapture you and bring you back into the fold. Have no fear. We have 2 armies that we can use to try to recapture it now. Even if both armies aren't full. Looks like the remains of that fleet are going to try going up to Olbia to recapture that one. That'd be that's a bit annoying. I don't even know how big that navy is. Now, there's one enemy army up here that we're going to have to deal with. But I think one of my armies against one of their armies is going to be enough. But yeah, Petrodava is going to be an interesting fight. So we're being attacked. This isn't a high-level area. This is just a basic defensive area. But I don't know why the game thinks I'm going to lose this battle. Because these look like very weak units. Apparently they have hoplites, but they're not Greek hoplites. Okay, which means they're instantly weak compared to our hoplites. And we have the cav advantage, because we can very casually flank and wipe out their archers. This is going to be a very straightforward, simple battle. I'm going to quick save just in case the game crashes. And this army is almost completely refreshed at this point, just has one unit who's not fully replenished. Let's see. So this is the Wrath of the Sabazios and the Blades. So let's see. The enemy are most likely going to go probably through this area here. But the catchment's up here, so we don't need to do that. So we're going to I'm going to use my strong hoplites up here. They're going to hold, and they'll very easily beat up the enemy hoplites. See, where are the enemy hoplites? They're heavy hoplites, so that means they are better than the garrison hoplites would be. I'm thinking though what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my stronger hoplites a little bit further up and back. I keep them on the high ground basically. Use my weaker garrison hoplites in the front to try and essentially, use them as sacrificial lambs basically. So I'm planning on doing, since they are garrison troops who regenerate in their own way, a lot simpler than my hoplites will. And I want my hoplites to be as healthy as possible for the next invasion. We're basically taking over another area. I want you guys actually more centered, because I have a better idea. One tribesman there, a little bit more over actually. That'd be good. Using the tribesmen up on the flanks a little bit. I'll use some of these local townsfolk to also assist in the battle, assist as well. Just basically using the garrison as meat shields. Convenient meat shields, but still meat shields all the same. I'm thinking that might be a good angle for him. Apparently, though, we can't actually get all that close to the cliff itself. I was kind of hoping I would be able to get a little bit closer, but oh well. Not too surprising, I guess. Which will then mean I can spread you guys out a bit more, make you guys a little less obvious of a target. Honestly, probably better to get closer to the hoplites in front. Okay. Then we'll just bring everybody else who's extra up here. Though my cavalry, though, I don't want locked back up here. I have my cavalry kind of out as much as I can get them out. So that way they can flank the enemy and wipe them out. Elephants I'm going to keep back, but close enough that I can use them in the fights. Same with you guys, just in case there's any issues. So again, you guys would also be a good flanking force. So I'm going to take you guys, I'm going to put you over here. Well, it looks like I missed one unit of archers, so I'm going to plop you over here now. These guys. You are... Oh, apparently I missed a unit of hoplites as well, so I'm going to just plop you guys down here. The tribesmen are, I should say, because I'm still keeping you guys here. There we go. You have You two. Oops. Honestly, the horses are both going to be over here. The general, I'm also going to keep over here on this flank. You guys, Falksman, I'm going to keep you over here. Baggage train, there's no real point to you guys actually getting involved in the fighting, so you can just stay over here. Alright, now for time for the deployables. So the enemy is going to just come on in. I'm assuming what's going to happen is their one unit of cav is going to kill themselves. So I'm going to just bring these up here. And then I'm going to do spike traps. I'm assuming the enemy's going to go like one of these two routes. I'm just going to put the spike traps there to block. I don't really need the barricades or anything else, so I'm just going to start the battle. Oh yeah, General, the General speech. Speech. So, the enemy's cav are going to charge up just like I expected. Probably going to hold off sending the flanky force until these guys are engaged, unless I think there's enough of a gap to warrant it. Yeah, so the enemy cav is just going to charge in here, get a bunch of them killed on this caltrops, and then just start charging on through. They're going to go right into the middle of my hoplite force here. Oof, look at that archer fire. Oh, so these are missile cavs, so they're not going to just charge straight in. That's smart for the AI to have. Ooh, look at all those arrows that are just wiping this unit out. These guys have shields, which help keep them alive a little bit, but yeah, ooh. The hail of arrows, man. Oof. It's probably a bit of a waste of arrows, but still, it's a sight to behold. Just the rain of arrows darkening this already dark sky. One unit remains. This must be the enemy general. The reason why I say that it must be the enemy general is because of the fact that I get notified that the enemy general is dead. So this guy, this general, the luckiest man in his army, is now turning tail to run as he panics. His entire bodyguard, his best friends are dead, leaving him to just flee and try to live yet another day. Now the enemy's missile troops. These are skirmishers, so these guys are javelin throwers. So it's good to be able to wipe these guys out before they get too much effect in. That's a lot of arrows used up for not a lot of damage, mostly because of the small amount of targets that we're focus firing. But now, this is where the real damage comes in. The Falksmen are their strongest force, but also the most susceptible to archer fire. And they're all nicely grouped together. Look at that rain of arrows coming down on them. Already, this one's 23 dead. Only one dead in that group. 20 dead in that group. They get a respectable charge in there, but nothing too serious. At least, comparatively speaking. Yeah, the hoplites are going to be a bit slower than them to get into the fight. Yeah, the first line of defense, I'm expecting to lose, but hey, there's a chance that they might not, in which case it's good for me, because that means there's even less damage going to affect my main army. Start moving these guys up as well, potentially. At least start walking them over. The Falksmen I'm going to hold off until the second army's there. Because they're less likely to be able to retreat and run. Yep, that first group is just destroyed, demolished by archer fire. Time to get rid of the enemy archers as a potential threat. Looks like we're trying to send some hoplites here to hold, but not going to be enough. And that unit right there, they're not properly engaging, so they're just archer fodder. Fire from multiple different angles, not even sure how to react as our horses are getting involved in wiping out the enemy archers here. Looks like they got stuck more on one of them than the other, but that's still enough to break both of them, it looks like. I'm going to keep you focused on this one. And you focus on that one, just wipe them off the face of the earth. Don't let them get back into this fight. Yeah, these guys are supposed to be a threat. These guys are supposed to have the advantage in this battle. I think not. These foolish barbarians should know that they shouldn't contest against the strategic might of the Greeks. That unit should be pretty easy to actually take out the cav charge. Archers are going to be out of arrows now before the second guys get there, but our melee troops are all basically fresh and only minimally damaged compared to the start of the battle, so I don't really have much problem with this. I'll pull you guys back out now before the enemy's spear units get too involved here. Yeah, I did lose a few of the guys getting out of the fight there, but I think it was worth it. I would have lost a lot more, I think, if the hoplites got involved. Man, the last of the archers are firing, giving out their goods. Considering, I'm going to start moving these over here since I'm not expecting to have to worry about my front being breached at this point. Letting both of these groups just rest for now, since we'll let the enemies kind of fall where they're going to right now. Looks like I got a group of Falksmen coming in. That's going to get a decent charge off. They won't have to worry so much about archer fire anymore. My general's in a nice position here now. Now it's time to start getting my cav involved. Now that the slower hoplites now are getting involved, are now kind of waiting behind while the lighter infantry are getting invested. That's the best time to start getting some good damage off on the enemy here. That's why you always want to make sure your army moves together as much as possible, because if they're in piecemeal like this, then they can more easily be destroyed by cavalry and fast-moving enemy infantry. Nice little hammer anvil there. The enemy units, though, are in a position that I'm not a big fan of, so I'm going to get my general out of there as soon as possible. While these guys try to chase my general, I'm going to flank around here and smash them. Actually finish breaking that unit, that'll be good, because that cav needs to get out of there. Broken, perfect. Just gotta, yeah, that one's broken. I'm moving this one over here because I want to be able to actually catch these guys before they get away. Make sure as many of them are dead as possible so that way they don't get to come back. Yeah, forcing the enemy to run away. My general's now in a position where he can actually start firing with his bows while he relaxes, waiting for the situation to change once again, as they are now attacking my hoplites and the local tribesmen, as they've not yet all been brought into the fold of Greek hoplite power. The men are wavering. I'm not surprising, they're just basic tribesmen. They're not Greeks. They know not the power to resist yet, just like as Antheia has shown. Oh, these guys are actually really getting some good shots on my step archers over here. Someone falling back. I didn't even notice that. I'm trying to get my young horsemen involved in that situation. Yeah, do a good job and keep cleaning up house, boyos. My young horsemen will be able to get here without any problems and start wiping the floor with them. The young horse definitely took a bit more of a brazen approach than I would, but hey, who am I to complain with the results? They didn't get killed at all. And now that one of the tribesmen are broken, it'll be a little bit easier now for them to wipe out the hoplites in the front. Now they got a good flank on them. So it looks like these are swordsmen, not axemen. Though actually some of them have axes, so I guess the guys do have some AP damage. So the garrison's now going to start falling apart. But I think I'm going to also assist them a little bit and move this one up. Even though my main priority isn't necessarily to keep them alive, it's at least nice to not have the garrison overly weakened, especially when there's good Greeks involved. Are you tired yet? You're winded, so I'm just gonna let you walk. And you two finish off the cav. The archers now. Surprised that this is considered even battle. I guess these guys must be a pretty strong archer unit. You guys get out of the fight. You guys focus on fighting, and we're just gonna cycle charge you then. Oh, you guys are gonna try charging my general? Get countercharged, Sonny Jim. You guys attack those guys here. Where's my falcons? These guys here. You're trying to start bringing them up. Now to bring these boyos into the rear. Resilient archers, but the resilient archers are still archers. Okay, just run them down. It looks like my general should win this battle, but let me clean house first. Yeah, that one's broken, so I'm gonna get this guy invested here while these ones stake in this fight. The Falksmen are breaking. These guys actually have taken a surprising amount of damage. I guess that's because these guys are on the closest side to the enemy archers. Is probably why they've taken the most amount of damage. Our men flee the field of battle. What a shameful display. Thracians, I want you to show these Dacians who the better two-handed swordsman is in this game. Okay? Show them you're the better ones. And you're just better because I had you first, okay? Yeah, the garrison line's starting to fall apart now, so I want to get, now it's time to get my hoplites invested in the battle. We're going to rear charge these guys, finish them off. My general definitely took a bit of a beating in this little battle because he's not designed to be in like the full fight for very long, so it's definitely just an unfortunate situation for him. But that guy, these guys like broke through the initial weak troops, and now he's like facing the real might of like a professional Greek army, and he's just like, and I'm out of here, thank you. Wow, these guys actually came back. Surprised. I'm gonna pull these guys back then, get out of that because they're now tired. Get them reformed at least. I'm not too worried about them dying. I'm more concerned about them getting involved there. And destroyed. A nice amount of javelins to their backs, I think, is enough to try and convince anybody that fighting is no longer in their best interest. Let's continue just for a moment just to try and clear some of the troop enemies who just broke and merely ran away. Because I don't want to have to deal with a follow-up enemy army if I don't have to. So let's just clean them up real fast. Yeah, we only had minimal damage to our actual army, so that's going to be good. Means we can, hopefully means there's going to be less time that we need to dedicate to replenishing. Yeah. Oh, only lost 638 men in our main army. Oh, that might actually be considering the militia too. The archers got a lot of kills in. A couple of my archers just got more damage than they otherwise would have because I didn't notice how much the enemy was like focusing on them with arrows. The all archers got a lot of my kills. The elephants weren't even engaged at all in the fight melee-wise, but they still got 52 kills with their archers. The Axemen came at the very end. Didn't get too many kills, but even just coming barely at the very end, they got 215 kills and 51 was 158 kills. It's pretty nice. Yeah, our cavalry, 525 kills, 306 kills, 247 kills. Definitely was a nice affair. This is the kind of thing where if I was facing another player, I would use some of those hoplites to basically hold off the choke points. So that way it was a one-to-one fight as much as possible. And we haven't had any Dacian slaves really, so let's enslave some of them, get some fresh blood into our slave economy. It looks like enough of them got away that they're able to reform. I mean, they're able to, I guess I should not reform, but hold an army together. Edict canceled because I lost the settlement. Yeah, these armies are so weak, I'm just going to finish them off. I'll honor their, they're cowards. They don't even deserve the honor of being enslaved by us with the chance of freedom in the future. Let's get that replenishment bonus for this guy. Why are you being weird? There we go. Yeah, there's one full stack over here, one full stack over here. Which one's the healthier army? You're technically the healthier army. You're technically the weaker army, though. You're the stronger army in terms of like how well built you are. But I'm gonna start moving you towards Antheia now. You guys, how healthy are you guys now? You need to get in that fight before these guys do. Actually, to an extent, after them isn't the end of the world either, if I'm being honest. Hellenistic town with trained slaves. Interesting. Apparently it reduces the slave unrest, so that'll be good for public order, which I like. Wait, I have a slave trader in this region? I didn't even notice I had that. Okay, interesting. Uses banditry. Upgrade to a metropolitan athletic colony. I have a lot of money right now that I can start throwing around, which is nice. I can start upgrading my buildings into better and better to make them better and better. The banditry problem is starting to drop a little bit, which is nice. Yeah, there's still 3 armies here. Well, actually, yeah, 3 armies and a half in this region alone. Pergamon doesn't even have 1 full stack. For some reason, they're making a bunch of tiny armies instead of actually having 1 good army. I'm thinking I'm going to fall back closer to side here than I am going to be closer to the enemy. So let's just go back here and refortify. You guys should be more focused on your southern border than you are over here. Petrodava's army is going to start replenishing soon enough. And once we take this one, we can take Pelendava. We can take the capital. Once I replenish, I'm going to probably prioritize the capital, take that over, and then focus on the south here. Now basically completely remove this border as a threat. And I can then focus on maybe bringing this arm and like. Then I'll need to start focusing on the north. I need to make yet another army. I'm thinking. How big is that navy still? It's still a 17 stack. Where's my navy? I think it's down here, isn't it? Yep. I'm going to bring it back over here because I want to actually start converting this into a big navy. Let's see, which one is the best for light artillery, Lithobo's ship? What is a Lithobo's? Is that good for ramming? Abysmal boarding, excellent missile combat. I like boarding, so anything with good boarding is what I want. So apparently it's about the same quality. And I would love a ramming, not with Marines. Poor boarding, weak ramming, uncatchable. What does uncatchable mean? Does that mean that they can't be boarded? Very strong initial ramming because I suppose the Greek fire. Greek Marines, weak ramming. Very weak. I mean, I haven't really invested anything into our Navy, which makes this not very Greek of me. Because they're supposed to be really good at ramming and speeds and stuff like that. I'm gonna start investing more into this Navy, making it a real threat that allows us to take over the seas, which will make our conquest even easier than before. Alright, let's end turn. There are 2 big battles here, so I'm gonna just do this end turn sequence. That'll probably be the end of the episode. Yeah, we lost Antheia, but we destroyed a Roman army in the process. Means it went to Macedon instead of Rome. We destroyed another army, like an army and a half essentially, of not Dacians, but like I think they're still part of the same culture that Dacia is in, but they're not Dacia itself. They can't retreat apparently. So it looks like the Roman impersonators are going to be up against a Macedonian army. So we're definitely going to need to win this through being flexible, because we won't be able to take on, our Roman impersonators won't be able to take these guys head on. So we have to flank them. They have a far superior cavalry force. So, but we basically, if even the Roman impersonators lose this battle, the priority is going to be for the Roman impersonators to weaken the enemy army as much as possible. So that way the next army comes in and just wipes the floor with them. So, with that in mind, this is going to be the end of the episode here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good day, night, evening, wherever you guys may be. Take care.